The 98 Rock Morning Show.
8:45, August 31st. And yes, John Rollo joins us. Shogun Fights 5 has been announced, and it is Saturday, October 8th at the First Mariner Arena. Good morning, John.
Hello, Amelia.
Man, I tell you what, Shogun Fights, a lot of people talk about it around town. Everybody gets excited when you have a whole new card. Who's on this card?
Well, there's a lot of guys people are familiar with, and then we always bring in some new talent. What we tried to do on this card is guys that have been fighting and have been winning, we're trying to match those guys up together. So, Binky's actually fighting a kid named Chris Buckner, who's undefeated. Dave Danecki, who's a fan favorite, is fighting a kid named Donald Crawford, who had a pretty vicious knockout on the last card, and Donald's undefeated as a professional, so it'll be probably Dave's toughest opponent yet.
John Rollo, I don't want to interrupt you.
Yep.
But your voice is like, you sound like
like
a
an
different
angel.
human being. What the hell's going on
it's
here?
Like Jesus and Fergie all mixed together.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, I had surgery, honestly. I felt bad because your station had asked me to work with the Jeremiah Weed promotion. And right around the last Shogun in April, I lost my voice. And after the show, it did not come back.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm used to like, Shogun Fights going on.
Right.
So would you have, nodes or something?
Yeah, but they called it a granuloma. Basically, it was a piece of tissue that was pushing on both of my vocal cords. So when they went in to take that out, they took out my tonsils and my uvulus, and now my girl Angel's happy that I'm not snoring,
You're not snoring?
like a bear
You don't
anymore.
have a uvula?
It's all gone.
That little thing that hangs down?
Yep.
It's
God.
gone?
And the real good news, no gag reflex.
Oh, wow.
Who's crazy enough to say that to him?
I'm just happy it was. They gave me the clear on cancer side, which is a good thing, obviously.
But the rasp is I like the the rasp added to the
The sexiness.
It was
A lot
like,
of
The
people said that.
sexiness.
My people were like, "Well, what if you sound like Mike Tyson when they're done?"
Yeah.
I
I'm
said,
just
and
glad.
I said, like Mickey did. I go, "Well, who's going to say something?" To
Yeah,
you?
who's going to call? Yeah. But, the thing is, now I'm glad because now I can understand what you say. On the phone, all I used to hear, it sounded like, the white noise on the radio.
So I'm assuming that with Shogun Fights, you're going to have the same production, and you're going to be doing the same videos, and you're going to have the same MCs?
Yeah, well, we're going to have Justin. I got to find out if he can even come in or not. But Mickey has moved on to brighter pastures.
It's not that. It's just the last two times I was booked before you booked.
he's busy writing his book. You have to-
I'm going to
I
punch
heard
you.
about that.
I'm going to punch you right in your beak.
Would
know
you
what?
read
But
that book?
That book
Would you
be.
read that book?
I mean, I think it would be an inspiration to little people everywhere. Write a book.
You son of a bitch. I was going to talk good about you in it, too. Now, John. Now I'm going to talk bad and go into hiding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So, tickets are available, for the show.
Yeah. How's the school doing?
I mean, we have 3 of them, so they're
Jesus.
they're all doing pretty well, and I guess I can just be thankful, in this economy that I can make a living doing something I enjoy.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now at the arena, I loved it. I mean, I was heartbroken when I couldn't do them, man. It was the coolest thing, and you put on such an amazing show. What is it? Have you tweaked it as you've gone? Like, what are the little tweaks you think have really added to it?
I think the biggest things that we did were behind the scenes to try and speed up the time in between the matches.
Yeah.
So the last card that we had, everybody said they thought it was the best one. It was the most fan-friendly because you had a guy's arm, elbow kind of got popped. You had plenty of blood, in the super heavyweight match. You had some good knockouts there. So it was a little bit of everything for the fans, and that's what we tried to do on this card again, was give you, some serious matchups, bring back guys that are putting on exciting fights,
Let me pitch an
hope
idea.
everybody's in.
I have an idea.
Go ahead, Scott.
Me versus Spiegel.
That's not
that would be a ticket
In the cage.
seller.
No, listen, hold on.
right.
And I'm not kidding. Fight to the death.
Well, Josh has hit me a few times, Scott, and I
Yeah.
believe you don't have much to worry about. So
Well,
Would you fight me to the death,
if
Spiegel?
I get revved up,
like gladiator times?
I'll destroy you.
To the death?
What kind of protection will we
Nothing.
have?
Bare fists.
Bare fist, nothing.
Just like a pair of shorts, nothing else.
You're able to, we're each able to have one weapon, but it can't be a gun.
I don't know.
Brian.
What about
Scott,
a
you should bring your
crossbow?
chihuahua.
Yeah, you can bring a crossbow. That's fine.
Yeah.
No projectile.
I don't know. I'll
Come on, you wuss.
well I can rip off your balls with my
That's a technique. If you
yeah.
want to try to use that, go right ahead.
Chiquita's
my
already got
teeth.
him, dude. There's no ripping
I'll
anything.
rip off your balls with my teeth. Jesus. John, the other day, I need your help with something. I was watching, not the UFC. Is it Elite?
Elite XC.
Yeah.
They have they have Strike Force, but the UFC owns everybody. Strike Force bought Elite XC. They're kind of defunct now, so it might have been a repeat.
Okay.
And then they have Strike Force, who bought Elite XC, and the UFC bought Strike Force.
Good
What if you
Lord.
do a blindfolded match?
I mean, that would be great.
Awesome.
You, Spiegel,
No, a couple of real
Thongs.
dudes, but blindfold them.
oils, and blindfolds.
That sounds like a Saturday night for me. Some candles.
I had a
Teddy
conversation.
Pendergrass.
I had a conversation with a guy the other day, just talking about, tough guys or whatever, and the UFC and your thing came up, and they were like, I've been there, man. Them guys ain't that, and I'm like, dude. I go, you've been in a bar fight at Looney's. Like, yeah, you caught a guy on the chin, but the guy didn't even know what was coming. Like,
Right.
what makes you think you can get in against a guy that knows how to block everything you're going to throw, and not only block it, but as he's blocking
Counter it.
or wrap you up in a way that's going to snap your spine?
Yeah.
And he goes, dude, I'm telling you, I could kick ass at that. I go, well, why don't you go do it?
Yeah, just come to the school and try it out.
How many guys come in thinking they're badasses?
Yeah, what's the percentage of dudes that are gone in 3 days?
I mean, honestly, a lot of those guys, when they call, they never show up.
Right.
Because I'm to the point now when somebody calls and tells me how tough they are.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're going to come in, you want to train, you're going to get annihilated if you just come in here and think, I'm a tough guy on the street, or I've been in a bunch of bar fights, or I got out of jail, I was fighting in jail.
Yeah.
These guys are all crazy. And from our show, Jim Hedis that fought here, he's fought twice. He just fought in the UFC.
How'd he do?
He won. Zach Davis was on The Ultimate Fighter. Dustin Pegg on the next season of The Ultimate Fighter. Kerry Veneer's been to Bellator. Binky is fighting in Bellator a month before, this show. So, I mean, my goal here was to take guys and get them to the next level.
Yeah, totally.
We're coming on our 5th show, and we've already had 5 or 6 guys that have, went and moved on to bigger shows.
Are you guys on the map now? Is Shogun on the map, with Dana and those guys?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, since 3 of our guys have been picked already, but they're as a regional promotion. Like, guys that aren't familiar with the business, you're not going to go to another place and see 4,000 or 5,000 people.
Hell no.
At a regional show.
You'd be lucky to see 1,000.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're going to be in a hall and you're going to have 1,000 people at your event. So, the fact that we're able to do this and to continue to do this is a good thing. It's a testament to the people of Baltimore coming out and supporting.
And what you've put together. You did it right the first time, and you believed in it.
I mean, I came from a unique viewpoint of being a fighter, being a coach, being a fan. So I just tried to, sit in those different seats. And if I was there saying, well, what would I want to see here? What would I want to see there?
Yeah.
And, and so far, so good. So I just hope everybody keeps coming out to support.
When was the last time somebody stepped to you?
1994.
It's been a while.
Couple of years or months or weeks?
Honestly, the last person I choked was that Pittsburgh Steeler fan. So
that's the great story.
That was at a
I've
game.
never even choked anyone ever. The last person I choked.
I mean, seriously though. First of all, here's the problem.
When was this?
The only guys
that
that
was at a Raven.
Of course, but I mean, like last season or
that was a couple seasons,
like 3 seasons ago.
The guy was getting out of line, and you just had to.
Yeah, well, the guy was just being a jerk off, and he's yelling. Finally, I'm like, yo, sit down and shut the F up. And, and he's like, F you. And then other people start chiming at him. And then the dude, like, while he's walking down the steps, because it's by my seats, kind of says it loud enough that I heard him, but low enough that he hoped I didn't hear him.
Right.
I'll meet you in the bathroom.
Okay.
And I looked at my buddy. I'm like, did he say what I think he said? and the guy was like looking at me like, yeah.
I hope you didn't hear what I said.
I'm like, you know what? Dude's drunk. I'm just going to let it roll.
Yeah, and that's how you do have to do it.
Comes back 10 minutes later.
Jawing.
Gets right back where he was. Where were you, big man? I'm disappointed in you. You're a punk just like your team. That was enough. I got up. walked over to him.
Now, was it cold out or warm out? Or were you covered up? Did he see the full potential of Rollo?
Now, the dude was a big dude as well.
That's what you said.
Wearing his James Harrison jersey. He had a whole crew with him.
Right.
So when I walked over, we were basically nose to nose. The guy tried to, push me, and I just popped his hands up, ducked behind him, and just choked him. And I left him sleep right there on a chair in the club level, so that's great. And I stand up, and there's his row of people, and I go, anybody else have something to say? And they're, what did you do to him? You know what I mean? My brother Pietro's like, let him up. He's out. So I just got
John
up.
got in the only stadium fight where a dude had to tap.
Yeah, well, he didn't get a chance to tap because he went to sleep, but. So I just told my boys, I'm like, hey, get my sunglasses and my hat. I'll meet you at the truck.
Right.
Police are walking in.
Yeah.
I walk out. How you doing, officer? Boom, walk right out, and
you
was
knew
gone.
you had to go after
now,
that.
in that situation,
And the Ravens won the game that day, so
That's right.
we had a double victory.
now in that situation, knowing what you're capable of and knowing where you've been, is there even a minuscule? Is there any doubt in your mind, like going into a situation like that?
I mean, honestly, no. I know that it's going to be bad for you, so I try to give you whatever chance I can.
Right.
It's like even my friend that was with me, little Angelo.
Yeah.
Angelo goes, you didn't even get mad or anything. And I'm
Right.
like, what is there to get mad about?
Right.
We do this all the time.
Right.
So, just
insane.
handle your business. They were like, you should have left business cards. I was like, well, they were like, you should have put some business cards on him while he's laying there. And I said, well, that would have been good, but then they could have came back and took my PSL or something.
Right.
So,
Well, I'll say one thing. Like, I remember, John, years ago when you were just a young guy bouncing. And, I mean, there were some tough guys in East Baltimore, man. I mean, there really were.
Yeah.
And, at 20 years old, think about how young that is.
Yeah.
20 years old, John's in there with, guys in their 30s that have been tough guys for 20 years.
Oh, yeah, steel mill workers that are 350
The
pounds.
best thing, though, is these guys would mouth off and John would go, listen, do yourself a favor, just walk out. You didn't want to fight anybody.
No,
well, that's not true. But you didn't. You would never just jack a guy out of nowhere.
Nah.
And I saw guys just F him up one side and down the other, and he'd stay calm. And then they do the point, like, in the face thing where you think, all right, he's going to, and then it was just.
Yeah, what's your breaking point? Like, where are you like, okay,
Well,
this is enough?
That's pretty
my
much it.
friends always told me, they said, as soon as you started pointing, we knew somebody was getting beat up.
Yeah.
So.
That was the
Right.
point.
Once the
point is what
finger,
did it. Yeah.
the finger was the warning. If you ran out at that point, you could avoid the other 5 fingers.
Now, John Rollo in studio, Shogun Fights 5. The official fight card is right there at their website, which is
ShogunFights.com.
And it's Saturday, October 8th, 2011, First Mariner Arena, right here in Baltimore. Head on out there if you love this kind of stuff. Even if you don't, man, seeing this live really kind of brings you back to it.
It's a really high end production. The Athletic Commission from Jersey comes down, and these guys are like,
They're
this
learning.
is like a Vegas show,
Right.
Hey,
And
John.
tickets range from $32 up to the the big VIP tickets, which are $250.
And last thing, we got to jump, but are fans ever going to see you fight, or are you past the point you think that you could?
I mean, if I was to fight, I don't even know if it could be on this show because of the amount of work that I put into putting it on.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a young man's game.
But I mean, am I opposed? No, just depends on
How's your knee? Do you think?
I mean, my knee's 1,000% fine. I would just have to be able to train and get in shape.
How much weight would you want to lose?
I mean, right now I'm probably about 275 or 280. The weight limit's only is 265.
You could get down to that.
Yeah, I
in
don't
a
even
second.
diet. Once I start eating better and training, I usually fight around 255.
All right.
I would love to see it once, but I don't. I know you'd rather make money
Just
smiling.
get somebody to throw some big money over this way so that I can
Tommy
do
Lee.
it.
John, thanks, man.
Always a pleasure,
Yep,
pal.
thank you, guys.
Tickets on sale now?
Yeah, tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster, ShogunFights.com, or at the Arena box office, and they range from $32 up to $252 if you want the VIP with a catered dinner, open bar, and ringside seats.
You got it.
Nikki, Amelia, and Spiegel.